Ujjanani cha ramyani vichitrai amaratumai ujadihang mitunai gayan mata madhuratai Udyanani garden cha also Ramyani very beautiful Vichitrai various Amaradurmai with trees brought from the heavenly planets Pujat singing Vyanga of birds Mitunai with pairs Gayat humming Mata mat Madhu Vrittai with bumblebee. Translation: the king's residence was surrounded by gardens wherein there were varieties of trees brought from the heavenly planets. In those trees there were pairs of sweetly singing birds and almost mad bumblebees, which made a very relishable buzzing sound. Please respond. The king's residence was surrounded by gardens wherein there were varieties of trees brought from the heavenly planets. In those trees there were pairs of sweetly singing birds and almost mad bumblebees, which made a very relishable buzzing sound. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And this was the word Amara Durmei, with trees brought from the heavenly planets. It's very significant. The heavenly planets are known as Amara, local, the planets where death is very much delayed. Because the people there live for 10,000 years, according to the calculation of the demigods, in which 6 months is equal to 1 day. The demigods live in the heavenly planets for months, years, and 10,000s of years, according to the demigod time. And then again, after the result of their pious activities are exhausted, they fall down to this earth. These are the statements that can be collected from the Vedic literature. The people there live for 10,000 years, so also do the trees. Of course, here on this earth there are many trees which live for 10,000 years, so what to speak of the trees on the heavenly planet? They must live for more than many 10,000s of years, and sometimes, in practice even now, some valuable trees are taken from one place to another. Elsewhere, it is elsewhere stated that when Lord Krishna went to the heavenly planet with his wife Satyabhama, he took a parijata flower tree from heaven and brought it to the earth. There was a fight between Krishna and the demigod due to the parijata tree being taken from heaven to this planet. The parijata was planted in the palace of Lord Krishna, which was occupied by Queen Satyabhama. The flower and fruit trees in the heavenly planets are superior, for they are very pleasant and tasteful. And it appears that in the palace of Maharaj Uttanapada there were many varieties of such trees. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnanam Jnana Shulaka Shikshagan Viditanena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Satchitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadaman Vidasi Swapadandita Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sakyajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Yutam Tamsajam Sadvitam Shavadutam Parijinam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagat Radha Kintana Mostute Sapta Kanchna Garangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shavana Devi Pranamami Hare Pri Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuveva cha Titanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Ram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Punyavadi Paschati Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Gadadhara Shivashri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, you can see here how the heavenly planets are full of trees and very special kind of trees. But our modern science is saying that there's no life anywhere else. Isn't it? They say there's no life anywhere. But here we are hearing how beautiful trees. Yes? See, this is the problem because our material vision is very contaminated. That we cannot understand how the whole universe is being managed. They think that, everywhere is, nothing is there. Nothing is there, everything is dead. In this verse you can see the Bhagavad Gita. Achdyoyam adhayoyam aklera sosya evacha nityaha sarvagata sthanam achaloyam sanatanaha. In this verse, nityaha sarvagata sthanam. You can see here in this translation, the individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can neither be burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable and eternally the same. You see the word present everywhere. So it is not that only it is present here and is not present anywhere else. You follow? When you go down deep down the ocean, very deep, the Manila Trench. What do you call that? Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench, very deep down, extremely deep. And there also they found living entities. You follow? So there is no question of that the whole world is vacant. You follow? Everywhere is the creation of the Lord. I think it's in the 15th chapter, how He floats all the universe. What is that? 15 what? 15.3? 15.13. Gum. Here you see here in the Sanskrit, gum. Avishya cha bhutani darayamyaham ojasa pushnami chausadi sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakaha. I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon, and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. If the moon is supplying juice to all the life of vegetables, and there's nothing but dead cells. Can we believe that? Can we believe that? Huh? Does it make any sense? Suppose you buy so many apartments in, say, this country, and you leave it all vacant. Is that intelligent? Will you do that? Huh? Will you do that? So the Lord will do that. He floats all planets and He leaves it all vacant. Yeah? He's such a fool. Isn't it fair? You understand how they have become so nonsense. And they are teaching this to us. And we are learning this, that they went to the moon and brought some dust and said nothing there, some dust. Huh? Can you imagine this? And the moon is supplying the what? The juice of all life to all vegetables. Have you eaten stale vegetables? Have you eaten? In Philippines, I think he's watching my video now. I was eating some really dry vegetables. Very crunchy, yeah. That is all, what to do. So like that, it is stale and it's all, you don't like to eat it. But there's got to be some life. Life. If there's no life, then you follow. I think we take that, can you take that place, Gajendra, who became an elephant and he was running around. There's a whole scene about how the heavenly planet has got, the trees, look so beautiful, this, that, so much description. That's it. And the higher planets. In fact, the trees are different categories. And let's say the trees in the spiritual world is even more. What we say? Very extraordinary. Like the Kalpa Vriksha, right? In the heavenly planet, there are even far out trees, the trees that produce big guavas, and when they fall down, they smash, and the juice flows down, and on the bank they pick up jewels, gold. Can you imagine? And they say, oh, everywhere is nothing. How foolish. Here, Uttanappa, he got trees from the heavenly planet. Garden. Very, but they don't know these things. They think that everything is only by their vision, whatever they can see. Material life has got 4 defects. Yes, it is not perfect. Subject to mistake, subject to illusion, and senses are subject to illusion, imperfect, make mistakes, and they have a cheating propensity. So, armed with these 4 defects, how they can come to some conclusion? So, everything is very, what we say, it is not very factual, it's not absolute, as we say, absolute. But here you can see description, and the demigod, they live for 10,000 years. 10,000 years. Especially here, they all are trying to have illicit sex, trying to have sex without conception. They have all kind of gadgets for that. But in the heavenly planet, there's free, there's no disease. Here you do that, you get AIDS, you get BD, there's so many diseases. There, and the women there don't become pregnant. If they become pregnant, then it's the last. Then they will die. Last they will give birth. And then they fall down here. It's explained here in this verse how they fall down. Twice born Brahmana, Divija, gains his life by the grace of his parents through the process of purification known as Garbhadana. There are also other processes of purification until the end of life. What is this? What was that? My dear King Yudhishthira, when oblations of ghee and food grains like barley and sesame are offered in the sacrifice, they turn into celestial smoke which carries one to successively higher planetary systems like the kingdoms of Dhuma, Ratri, Krishna Paksha, Dakshinam, and ultimately the moon. Then, however, the performance of sacrifice descend again to earth to become herbs, creepers, vegetables, and food grains. They are eaten by different living entities and turn into semen, which is injected into female bodies, and thus one takes birth again and again. See how they fall down? You follow? They are eaten, they become grains, grains are eaten by the animals, cow, milk, man drinks the milk, transfers to the body of the women, again they take birth. You understand? So this cycle is there. So how this works, you cannot understand. Because this is, what is that? Karmana Devika Neta. 3. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Karmana Devika Nitena Teho Papatyaye Priya Pravishta Dudaram Pumshureta Sanashrayaha. It says here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, according to the result of His work, the living entity, the soul, is made to enter into the womb of woman through the particle of male, semen to assume a particular type of body. So you see how this process is going on. Because these things we cannot see. Only those who are trained with the eyes, they can see this. That's also explained. Here in the Bhagavad Gita, it is explained how a person who is trained Utkramantam stitam vapi Bhunjanam va gunanvitam Vimuda na nupashyanti Pashyanti jnana chakshusaha. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit this body. Nor can they understand what sort of body enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. You follow the point? So unless a person is trained in knowledge, then he can understand. Then he can understand higher planets, they are living entities. he can understand how the soul is transmigrating. As here it's explained by Narada Muni, he says, covered by the mode of ignorance in the material nature, the living entity is sometime male, sometime female, sometime eunuch, sometime human being, sometime demigod, sometime bird, animal, and so on. And this way is wandering within the material world. The acceptance of different types of bodies brought about by its activities under the influence of the modes of nature. So this is how the transmigration is going on. You understand? So there are 8.4 million species and they are all over the universe. In fact, some animals are there, in some part they are not here. You follow. Not that everything is there in this earth. There are some species are not here. You understand? Like some species are in the hellish planet called the Guru bird. They are not here. So like that, there are different species, different trees, different kind of trees. Not all kind of trees are here. Like for example, we are speaking about the spiritual world. The tree is different. And that tree, it is explained we chant this verse all the time. Chintamani prakarasatma sukalpa vriksha. See this word kalpa vriksha. Laksha vrateshu shurabhirabhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasrasatasham brahmasevayamanam Govindamadi Purujam Aham Bhajami. So you see here the word Kalpavriksha. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in both the spiritual germ, surrounded by millions of purpose trees. You see that word purpose tree, the tree is there. Here as Prabhupada explained that the mango tree can give you mango. Whereas in the spiritual world, the mango tree can give you apple. So many things they can give you whatever you want. You follow? And this is the difference between different planetary systems. In the spiritual world, these trees are there. Then similarly, as you go higher and higher, the higher planets, then you get different levels of sense gratification. You follow? It is explained here. The subtle body is endowed with 16 parts, with 5 knowledge-acquiring senses, the 5 working senses, the 5 objective senses that are within mind. The subtle body is an effect of the 3 modes of material nature. It composed of insubmersible strong desire. And therefore it causes the living entity to transmigrate from one body to another in human life, animal life, and life of demigod. When the living entity gets the body of the demigod, it's certainly very jubilant. This is the point. You see this? When he gets to the heavenly planet, he becomes very happy. You follow? But when he gets the human body, he is always in lamentation. Always got problems. See that? Human body always problematic. And when you get the body of an animal, oh, it's always afraid. In all conditions, however, is all actually miserable. This miserable condition is called samsriti or transmigration in material life. So try to understand how even though in the material world you may get anything, even demigods or human being or even animals, always miserable. Of course, we are hearing this very nice thing about the heavenly planets, but it is still not, it's still miserable. Because there's competition. Yes. Heavenly planet, there's competition. 11, 10. No, 11, 10. There's enmity and all that. What is that? 11.3, I think. One cannot find permanent happiness even in the heavenly planets, which one can attain in the next life by ritualistic ceremony sacrifice. Even in the heavenly material heaven, the living entity is disturbed by rivalry with his equal and envy of those superior to him. And since one's residence in heaven is finished with the exhaustion of pious fruitive activity, the denizens of heaven are afflicted by fear. Anticipating the destruction of the heavenly life, thus they resemble kings who, though enviously admired by ordinary citizens, are constantly harassed by enemy kings who are therefore never attain actual happiness. You see that? So there is no such thing as happiness at all. This is a myth in the material world. The real happiness is there, only in one place. Where is that? Where is the happiness? In the spiritual world. Abrahama bhuvanaloka punavartino arjuna mamupetitu kaunteya puna janmana vidyate. From the highest planet to the lowest in the material world are all places of misery where repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So this place of Krishna is the place where there is no misery. Every other place in this material world is miserable. You can decorate it from trees from the heavenly planet. Or you can do so many things you try. But you cannot try to escape the misery. You understand? Because birth and death are very miserable situations. Not at all pleasing. So anyone who is serious, then he will try to escape this by taking shelter of Krishna. And that is the solution. If anyone wants to become really happy, then he should try to find a permanent solution, trying to make to go back to the spiritual world. Although that sounds very nice, these trees from heavenly planet and the sweet sounding birds and whatnot. But still it is a place of misery. You cannot really be happy here. And sometimes we read about all these things about heaven, we may get a little bit attracted. For it is said that even though you are going to the spiritual world, and when you see the heavenly planet and you are attracted, you fall down to the heavenly planet. You understand? So we should not have any attraction for all this so-called, flickering happiness. We should be fixed in trying to get the lotus feet of Krishna and no other objective. We should not try to divert our attention to anything other than that, because it may be seemingly very glittering, but the heavenly planet is also miserable. So we should not try to put our faith in it. That. So, any questions or comments in this verse? Yes? No. Heavenly planet in Sanskrit it is called Swarga. Swarga means material heaven, whereas the spiritual world is called Vaikuntha, a place where there is no anxiety. The two different. You follow? This heaven you mix up with the Christian philosophy. They say that the heaven, but that heaven it is not the spiritual world, the material heaven. Whereas the spiritual world is classified as Vaikuntha, a place where there is no birth, death, old age and disease. Whereas in the material heaven, we say here, highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all places of misery. You following? Any other questions? I have to look up for this. Probably have to go there and come back and show you. I heard that. I don't know about the verse. Prabhupada said, I have to look up. I don't know there's a verse on it. I don't know. But you should not, this is actually, you should be very, what we say, materially you should be, what is the word, exhausted. You should be, there's a word on that. You should be very disgusted with material. You cannot have any form of liking. I think it is there in this verse. Yeah, verse Nirnam. What is that? 11:1. A transcendentalist, having become disgusted and hopeless in all endeavors for material happiness, completely control the senses and develop detachment. By spiritual practice, he should then fix the mind on the spiritual thought form without deviation. You see this point? He should be having become disgusted and hopeless in all endeavors for material happiness. To follow this, he should not be having any form of attraction for material good. And actually it is a fact, because once you become Krishna conscious, then, what is that verse? Yadavadi. Where is that? Yadavadi? That once a person gets Krishna, then this so-called material pleasure, he spit at the thought of it. Disgusted. What is that? Matya? Since my mind has been engaged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and I have been enjoying an ever new transcendental humour, whenever I think of sex life with a woman, my face at once turns from it and I spit at the thought. See how it becomes disgusted. To come to that stage, unless you are attracted, you've got a higher taste. What is that verse? Higher taste? Rasavrajam rasopiyasya. Huh? 2:9.
No, that's previous verse.
Previous verse. What previous verse?
259.
Or 259. Vishaya vinivartante nirhasyate janam rasavrajam rasupiyasya paramdastva nivartate. See, though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense object remains. But ceasing such engagement by experiencing a higher taste is fixed in consciousness. So unless he gets the higher taste, he will not be giving up the lower taste. You understand? So unless we become Krishna conscious, we are engaged in the service of Krishna, then we will, what is that verse? Kamadinam kati katita. What is that? Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. Ushtrijantam. What is that? I have given up. 22:16. So here you see this verse, Kamadinam kati na katida palita dhurnidesha desham jatamayina karuna na trapa na upashanti ushtrijayantam, this word, ata yadupate samprantam labda buddhisvam ayata sharanam abhayam ma nikunja swatmadarshaye. Translation. O my Lord, there is no limit to unwanted orders of lusty desires. Although I have rendered these desires so much service, they have not shown any mercy to me. I have not been ashamed to serve them, nor I am even designed to give them up. O my Lord, O head of the Yadu dynasty, recently, however, my intelligence has been awakened and now I am giving them up. Due to transcendental intelligence, I now refuse to obey the unwanted orders of this desire. And now I have come to you to surrender myself at your fearless lotus feet. Kindly engage me in your personal service and save me. See, unless we get to Krishna, see, this is the word Ushtrijatam. Yata Yadupate Samprantam Labda Buddhi. See, of course, this is the same point is also has been explained in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, the same thing has been said by Arjuna. Arjuna is saying the same thing. Arjuna Vacha Nastamoham Smriti Labdva Tvat Prasadam Mayachuta Sitosmi Kata Sandeha Karishye Vachanam Tava. Arjuna said, my dear Lord, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone, I have regained my memory by your mercy. am now firm and free from doubt, and prepared to act according to your instruction. So you see the point that the moment we come to Krishna, then our illusion gets away, we get back our memory, we get a higher taste, we get so many things. But if we do not go to Krishna, then our consciousness gets polluted. Then we cannot give up this lower taste. It's not possible. Are you following? Huh?
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Microphone. Anyone in the thing asking questions?
Actually, I have a question. This one was said Uttanapad had, what is it, trees from heavenly planets on the earth. Because it was on the earth, he was ruling, right? So he had trees from heavenly planets in his courtyard.
Now why you have trees from heavenly planet in the heavenly world? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Don't have to have planets in the heavenly planet. There are definitely trees from the heavenly planet are there. Why have to bring it from there to here?
Krishna brought it Parijata.
Yes, Krishna brought because Rukmini had, and so Satyabhama was upset. So she wanted to have also the Parijata. So he took her along to, and when he was taking the plant, Indra was upset. And there was a fight. See how everybody's attached.
Prabhupada told that we treat those who are beside on the side of the road, they are impious trees.
Pious trees are trees that are for fuel, for burning. Pious trees, they don't burn, they worship them. Aswata tree, if you go around, you get benefit. They are auspicious trees. Tulasi, Aswata, banyan tree, mango tree, they all are very auspicious. But you get all these burning trees, you see pine trees and all for burning, useless. In fact, in the spiritual world, the trees can talk. That's a verse. One tree is speaking to Balaram, can you please ask Krishna at least to step on my shadow? That's a verse. So you see, like you see cartoon. Have you seen cartoon? The tree is talking and animals are talking. That's like that in the spiritual world. That talks. The animals can talk, trees can talk, everybody can talk. Different place, different world, you understand? Everybody lives in harmony. No animosity. Whereas here, if you become very envious, then you become free. You understand? If you take birth as a tree mate, envious birth. Then, naked, very fallen birth. Whereas the spiritual world, the trees are all very saintly, different. Even the trees in the holy places are also said to be holy, pious. They are fallen souls. After that birth of the tree, they go back to the spiritual world. Cannot understand all these things. Alright, we stop here then. Thank you very much. Sundar Gopāl.